Right. Short, K, short. Okay, we're having the last episode of Attack on Titan. 2 minutes starts now. Gotta be quick.
Eren was like saying his dad's memories, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was looking at the conversation that his dad was having with the owl, who
Kruger,
yeah, who was the attack titan.
Yep.
And he basically had said, what was it, 13 years?
13 years.
So whoever is like the bearer of one of like the 9 titans has to pass on the titan power after 13 years. If they don't, and they'll die with it, and it'll be born in a baby.
Yep.
Just a random Eldian baby.
Eldian,
They specified Eldian, didn't they?
Yep.
What else happened? He basically told Eren's dad that, you know, you have to go, you have to try and live a normal life, you have to, you know, fall in love, have a family, but you have to go and complete this mission.
Mm.
And his dad was like really apprehensive, which we kind of guessed because we saw in earlier episodes where he kind of hesitated to kill the race family at first, didn't he? And then he went back later on. And all the survey corps were in a meeting, weren't they, with like Historia, you know, the military police, the garrison. They were all there listening to the story. And Eren realised, didn't he, the reason why he was able to use the Founding Titan's power that once was because he had made contact with Dinah Fritz.
Dina.
Is it Dina? Dina Fritz in her Titan form, who obviously is royal blood. So because of coming into contact, he was able to use a Titan power.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell them because he was worried if he did, they would try and pressure like Historia into becoming a Titan. Yeah.
We don't know, do we? We don't know.
What that?
It's right. Okay, so quick note before we start reacting: stop commenting spoilers because it's not very nice. On the other side of that, thank you for the people who've been warning us about spoilers because I can remove them straight away once they run. What else was I going to say? Also, in case we get some stuff mixed up, it's a lot easier for me because I edit these.
Yeah.
And I can actually pay more attention to what I'm watching when I'm doing it. If we miss some stuff or we do stuff like that, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I am also. I want to go back through and like rewatch them.
Yeah. So a lot of people have been saying that we should go back through and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Not like necessarily on here, but
like in our own. Yeah.
Also, one last thing before we get started, for people who say we should pause it whenever we're going to talk, we're not going to do that. Just because either the video would be 3 hours long.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
And also we wanted to feel like yous are watching this with us, like friends, like you're watching stuff with your friends. And if I was watching this with my friends, I would be talking.
I also feel like though if you cut it off, like you can't always predict the best places to stop it. So like you could end up like stopping it halfway through an important conversation or like a speech or something, and I wouldn't really want to miss it in that sense. Like not get the full thing, you know.
Yeah. So that's why we're not going to do that. So let's watch. So there's one Titan.
Yeah. Everyone confirmed the Founding Titan was one of the 9.
We got the 8 right.
It's almost like because it's not even just like. I wonder if he'll tell Hanj and Levi because he might not even trust them. He might because they might say, well, actually, she should become a Titan then.
Another thing that everyone commented on was saying all the Eldians can be Titans if they're given the serum. This is essentially what the royal family did. Who's that fellow? Oh, these are the journalists, aren't they? It would be a weird thing to suddenly... It would be a weird thing to suddenly be told, wouldn't it?
No.
You're essentially an outcast. Well said, Levi. Oh. Oh no. A friend. He was in the charge, wasn't he? He did, he wanted to see her, didn't he? Saying the last thing going through his head was what she was doing. Sleeping in. What he was saying.
Alright, just...
Does Levi ever let his emotions take over? Do you mean even Mikasa's...
Who are you?
I know!
You've been on this squad for like 5 minutes. Chill out.
Well, I could sort of understand where he's coming from. Now is not the time to be dragging this up.
And it's like, it's not Armin's fault.
I know he was
He didn't
dead.
choose it.
If anything, it was Erwin's choice. Erwin chose to save Armin. He didn't want Levi to save him. Oh, that was a cool
I like the
juxtaposition.
yeah.
Come on, you did English literature.
I know.
You should know what juxtaposition is. Oh, I want one of those.
Oh, that looks cool.
It's like a bolo tie.
Has the...
The wings of freedom on. Oh, he's going to say something. What's going to happen in season 4? Oh, get up there, boys!
People are going to start going back in Walmaria. Oh, they're going outside the walls! I hope they see the ocean.
6 years, so what does that mean, Eren? You only got 7 years left as a Titan. There's only 9 of them.
Oh look, Eren's hair's grown longer.
Yeah, because he wants to be able to go.
He wants his hair to bounce in the wind while he's riding his horse.
A bit like Armin's.
Jeez.
Oh, it's a bit like the Rod Race Titan, isn't it? I wonder if that Titan's going to be important down the line.
Everything was fine until that one Titan shows up at the very end.
Yeah.
And all hell breaks loose.
It ends with Eren and Mikasa just sitting down and going, oh, finally. And then it just drops on them.
It's quite risky. What if they're there? What if, like, they turn up?
The ocean. Oh, is it going to end with them seeing the ocean? Oh, I bet it's just going to make Armin's day. I never thought I would ever be happy to see the ocean.
I know. They've never seen it, have they? Erwin doesn't quite look as impressed. Of course.
Oh, they're all going to have a beach day. Jellyfish.
I love how Levi is like so cautious. It's like his worst nightmare.
Eren feels like he's changed. That vision that he saw seems to have changed him. Of course, those three are fighting. Don't wait to bring a downer on things.
But you don't know that. Oh, Armin. But they don't know that everyone still hates him. The Marlians definitely do, but what about everyone else?
Oh, to be continued. We know it's to be continued. You bloody sausage.
Oh, that was so sweet, but it was also so sad, like, because it's true, isn't it? They thought, oh, the day we see the ocean is the day we'll be free, and it's like, it's like, they spent all their lives thinking that they were, like, all so special and lucky because they're living inside the walls and they're the last of humanity, and in reality they're, like,
being
exiled, you know, like, monsters from what the world sees them as.
That was, do you know what, that felt like a long season. I don't know why it felt like a long season, but it felt like there was a lot of emotional turmoil in that.
It felt like there was a lot of, like, there was quite a lot of resolution from the earlier seasons, but then they just opened like a whole other can of worms. They were like, okay, so we finally, like, cleared up the mess from these kind of worms. Now here's another one in preparation for season 4.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Like,
trying to figure out what all this means.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, like to lose an Erwin. It actually, I couldn't tell you when season 1 ended, and season 2 started, and season 2 ended, and season 3. It feels like we've just watched one long season.
I mean, I could, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Could you? When did season 1 end?
Well, I know where season 2 began, which was from the Beast Titan.
Right. Does that mean season 1 ended?
And was it not? It was just after Trust, wasn't it?
Right. So when did season 2 end? Was that when
season 2
Hannah's died?
Ended
with Hannah's death and Eren being able to control all the Titans.
Was
Erwin getting his arm
that
bit off.
not season 3?
Don't think so. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's been a long.
Yeah, now I think about it, it's a little more difficult.
Yeah. Because
I definitely knew season 2 started because that was the first time we saw the Beast Titan. So I knew season 2 had started around that point with the Beast Titan.
I felt sorry for Armin there.
Yeah.
Even though he finally got to see the ocean, that was kind of spoiled for him a little bit. But
there's always one, isn't there?
Yeah, and then Flock. Of all the times.
I get it, and obviously, like.
Well, as much as anyone, can understand how important Erwin was to all of them.
Yeah.
Because.
Not even just a survey call, but everyone.
But yeah, to everyone. But it's like, one, Armin didn't pick. Armin essentially resigned to his death. Mm-hmm. He was ready to die.
He chose it, didn't he? Yeah.
And it was Erwin's decision to. That might have been the only bad thing that went wrong with that decision, was that everyone didn't see that Erwin stopped him.
Erwin and Levi had made that decision before the injection, didn't he? He said, give up on your dream and die.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you have to do. It's like.
This is how we win.
And then Levi obviously didn't want to bring him back to, all this.
Finally got to rest.
Finally found peace, and they're going to drag him back. It's like, no. They wanted to let him rest.
Farewell.
Yeah, so it's like I understand where Flock's coming from, but don't blame Armin for that. And Armin has a lot of really good qualities.
Absolutely
and traits.
Does.
And in time,
I don't even care what anyone says. He's the commander of the Survey Corps, not Hamish.
He's his biggest flaw is his doubt.
His insecurity. Yeah.
In himself, but he's a smart guy.
But it was him that essentially figured out how to beat everyone.
And a brave guy. So just chill out, Flock. Come on.
All right.
Man.
So before we go and start season 4, any theories of where it's going to go? This is absolutely pointless.
No.
because the show has been very hard to predict.
It's really difficult, and they've ended it in a way that you don't. It's so uncertain of the future. We're so uncertain of the future because it's like I feel like we kind of thought when they get to the basement, all of our questions are gonna be answered. In reality, it's answered like the tiniest little questions, but there's still this whole other.
It was basically like they ended a chapter and started another chapter.
To be fair, it feels like a whole other book. I'm kind of just like, oh my god, what is going on?
I was editing one of our videos the other day, and I thought, I had one of these crazy thoughts. What if Amir is Amir?
But like how?
Well, I don't know. This is Attack on Titan. But like, it's just, we've rarely ever seen anyone who's even had the same first name as anyone else. So it's just weird that there's a character who's called Amir and the rest are subject of Amir. And when we were asking, where does Amir's lore, where does she fit into the backstory? What if her backstory is essentially what they're all arguing about?
I thought that was because I thought they made it seem like in the earlier episodes where we saw a bit of a flashback that they gave her that name. I don't know why. Did it explain why?
Well, they might have done.
But I'm pretty sure the people who were like worshipping her, basically calling her like, you know, the queen or the goddess or whatever, that it's given her that name. So I'm not sure that she is.
Well, they might have done, but like,
I am curious to know why they did that. Like, why did they choose her? What was special about her?
All I know is that she was a part of like this weird cult. They haven't mentioned that cult again since then.
Yeah.
She didn't know the language that they spoke at all. It even seemed like the Marlians knew what language the Eldians spoke. So it's like, if she's so old that even she doesn't know what language they speak, where does her backstory fit in with everything? Yeah. And then I was sitting there and I was going, well, what if she is that Amir?
And she just didn't even realise it.
And like, almost like a sort of Jesus thing, she died like a god would, became the first Titan.
But she's not the founding Titan though, is she? She's the other one.
Well, we don't necessarily know that the founding Titan is Amir.
Unless it's like, so because she was like the founder, in the same way that the 9 Titans get reborn into like new babies, maybe like just she became reborn, like a rebirth. Almost. It's just
it's not like, I mean, it might be absolutely nothing. It was just when I was sat editing something and I just thought to myself, well, why? Like I said, we've not seen any character in Attack on Titan that I can think of that had the same name, apart from Eren Kruger and Eren, who I assume was who he was named after.
Yeah.
Apart from that, have we seen anyone who've got the same names as other people? And it's just weird that there's 2 characters with the same name.
Yeah. I would kind of like to know a bit more about the first king. Because it made it seem like, okay, he was protecting his people from like the outside world. He didn't want them to worry about it. But surely the people he went to the walls with would have known.
Not if he wiped their memories.
Yeah, but why did he have to wipe their memories? Because it's not like in this instance, in the modern time, they found out and it caused chaos. But surely it wouldn't have caused mass chaos had they just lived knowing. They would have realised we need to stay in the walls because we're being protected from the outside world. It wouldn't have quite caused as much chaos. So why is he like implementing his like? Because it's not even just that, but it's like they said every royal family member that becomes the founding Titan is like forced by the first king to like make sure everyone's memories stay wiped. So like, why is it so important? What is it? Is it just that, or is there something else?
I suppose we'll see with season 4. Let us know down in the comments what you think. Remember, no spoilers. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
I'm glad we finished season 3.
Yeah. We're coming to the last season. It's going to be a long one. And apparently season 4 is even more crazy than season 3. How was that?
I can't even imagine though, like how.
Who knows? Thank you for watching.
I need to know.